The Celtics Talk Podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com. 11 locations across New England.
What's up, everybody? Post-game pod. And Kayla, as Eddie House would say, that was boot to ass because Celtics take down the Phoenix Suns 132-102. Celtics have now won 7 in a row, 12 of their last 13. They're 12-1 in the month of March, the only trip up being that Oklahoma City game. And boy, did they smack a Phoenix team that was kind of like had some momentum, was trying to make a little push here in the playoffs. And this
was a whooping. I mean, it's hard to believe that this Suns team took down Cleveland last Friday.
I mean.
And no Jayson, by the way, no Jayson Tatum here tonight.
Right.
Can we
burying the lead.
When do we even, burying the lead. I was going to say, when do we get to that point? But yeah, Chris, from the get-go, they made that, run right out the gate. It was 21-9, I think, early. And then, Kevin Durant did his thing.
They couldn't miss on threes.
They didn't. The Suns did not lead once. Not one point in
close.
This game.
Celtics led by as much as 34, I believe was the number. And as you said, no Jayson Tatum. So if I was like one of those podcast hosts, I'd be like, Kayla, coming up on this episode, are the Celtics better without Jayson Tatum?
Oh my God, let's not get crazy. I mean, we're playing a team that's 10th in the West, which, by the way, they're still a solid team, and the West is a tough conference.
Celtics
so
now,
I understand that.
Just saying, we're not going there, but Celtics now 6-1 this year without Jayson Tatum.
You know what it does say? How freaking good this team is. How deep they are. You see Baylor Showerman, by the way, with those passes.
The sizzle?
What is this?
He's just decided to be Jason Williams reincarnated, like throwing little
the behind
sizzle.
the back, like that's a shuffle pass as a quarterback. And now he's putting that onto the court in the NBA.
I love that we've reached the point of the season where it's almost the Celtics want to build a big enough lead so that Baylor can get some run and do something funny out there.
They're just doing it for him.
Luke Cornett now finally gets to see like what it's like to watch him usually. Like, because Luke would do something cool and the bench would laugh. Now it's like, oh, let's see Baylor. Like, maybe he'll do something cool.
It's like Luke graduated and Baylor's
Yeah,
the guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now Baylor is the guy. You mentioned no JT, but like if you're doing the positive thing, he went from doubtful to questionable. Looked like he tried to warm up both that shoot around and then doesn't play, but I think we can be pretty optimistic that maybe as early as Saturday against San Antonio, depending on like how he's feeling and whether the team feels like it wants to put him out there, he's going to be okay. And that opened the door for Jaylen Brown, who'd had a couple quiet games, to have a big night, 24 points. Kristaps Porzingis, 30 points, 10 of 15 shooting, 4 of 5 on threes, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, plus 27.
And you know what, Chris? Let me just start with Jaylen. Because Kristaps, I'll give him his kudos. This man has been since his rehab, since coming back, and then the non-COVID related illness, missing 8 games. This guy has been so consistent, it's ridiculous. Jaylen Brown, though, I wanted to see how he would respond. He missed 4 out of the last 7 in those 3 games that he did play. He only averaged 9 points. 24, 7 of 15, 4 of 9, 5 dimes, plus 24. It almost like. You don't question Jaylen Brown. I didn't question Jaylen Brown, being like, are you concerned? We had this talk in pregame. But then you kind of, I'm like, okay, Jaylen, I still need you to, Jayson Tatum's out. Where's the other Jay? Let's see how you do. And this was the kind of outing that we needed him to have.
If I have a little checklist for things I want to see to the finish line of the season, it would just be JB, everybody really, though, finding that's just like the upper level of their – not that they ever lose confidence, but you want a good string of games. You want to remind you what you can do. I keep using the word mojo. Like Sam hitting 8 3-pointers. Okay, that's what Sam Hauser can do. That's a little reminder that when he's healthy, he can be super impactful. JB just needed a night like this where he was dominant for large stretches, had a couple loud plays. There was one sequence where I think he had a loud poster dunk and then knocked down like a pull-up step-back 3 right after it. And I'm thinking, man, this guy's cooking. And that's the luxury that on a night you don't have Tatum, he gets a little bit more opportunity with the ball. And I just thought he was great in this game.
Tatum rocking the all Duke. First of all, loved the fit. Loved the Duke.
It was on my list.
I love when you kind of rock your when you rock your alma mater and then come in and but how he was able to act on the bench, if you guys look, if you want to.
What did you like better, the Duke shirt and hat combo, or the chains with
with the chains with it? The silver chains?
I
loved it. It's so classic because you're not gonna just
bling, I would say.
Right, you're not gonna come in like I like the vibe of the former like AAU team. You're coming in like your gear, you're repping your college or you're repping your school. So loved that for Jayson Tatum. I also loved how the bench was up. They stood. If you guys go back to that game, if you want to watch it in your spare time to relive how dominating they were here tonight, the bench was standing up maybe the whole time till the end. And I feel like that is just a metaphor.
Right.
It's what we're looking at come playoff time, because this was a game that, yeah, you could say one would get up for. You're playing Kevin Durant, playing Booker, etc. And they, again, took down the Cavs last Friday. So you don't know what you're going to get against this team. But to the end, even when it was absolutely, it was
even when it was in hand, they were having fun, right?
Like, they were having fun, and they ride for each other. And that's gonna pay off in the playoff time.
Luke had a point where I think he blocked a 3-point shot. I don't know if he barked but literally like said something to the bench and then scratched his like a dog with a flea. I believe this is a new.
I think you're gonna have to ask. Yeah. You're gonna have to ask him that. Be like, hey, what's this? They got another inside
I
little
believe
scoop there.
he's scratching his itch or scratching the flea. I don't know what it is, but it's more road dog stuff going on out there. You mentioned so KD actually had 30 points, was the only reason the Suns were even ever in this game. Booker 14 points, 4 of 13 shooting, minus 33 in this game. The Celtics really just dominated that. The one other guy that we need to work in here. Al had a stretch in the third quarter where he was everywhere.
Yes.
And there was one sequence that might be one of my favorite moments of the season. The ball is just zipping around. Al gets it in the corner, attacks a closeout, and then skies as if it's 2005 and throws down a 200 dunk. And I'm like, where did that come from?
It's what he does, isn't it? That's coming at all the people who doubted him and are saying like you're too old or he's heading on his way out. He is reminding everyone, I'm still him.
Boy is he. It's so much fun to watch this team right now, and every time I kind of kick myself and say, man, did I lose my mind in January and February when they were going through some of those ups and downs, and then I go no because they're aggravating in the moment. But talk about a team that just decided at one point, pretty much since the All-Star break, all right, we're just going to take care of business every single night. March usually is a very up and down month for teams. And this team is just like, no, we're getting ready for the playoffs. We're going to steamroll everybody. And I feel really good about where they're at. 4-0 on this road trip.
That All-Star break was God's gift. It was the greatest thing. Because
Right.
even before the All-Star break, they finished on a positive note. Like, it wasn't bad, but you were just...
Right.
We were in desperation mode to see these guys just get some rest, and some of them obviously didn't playing in the All-Star game. But yes, they have been cruising this March, 12-1.
12-1.
Now carry that on over. There's 9 regular season games left. And I'm actually grateful that they decided to rest Jayson Tatum.
Yes.
I got nervous, Chris, when this guy, this is how you know. I got nervous when he went from doubtful to questionable, because I want him to rest so badly. And I know Mike Hawley said they wanted to limit his minutes. No, I want him to rest, because I think just get that ankle. I love to see him do the pre-workout with Nick Sang, his trainer, who's done so well with him. But to see him do that workout, the agility test, all that stuff, the ankle looks good. But rest him. I would even say rest one more if he can, but they look good.
And it will be interesting. We're going to look ahead in a minute to Saturday, San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama. Like, give me, I might need some help.
Baylor.
It could be another Baylor night.
Get up for Baylor.
I do think there's some games you might circle. I keep saying Monday in Memphis, I think. End of this trip, chance to punctuate it, maybe chance to go 6-0. Last chance against maybe a playoff team that you'd actually want to go all the way in on, because they're going to play the Knicks and the Magic coming up. But that's a back-to-back. You're going to rest guys, and it's 2 teams you might see in the playoffs, so you might want to downshift a little bit. There's not a lot of spots left to really kind of ramp it up, and I love the way they played this. Don't rush Tatum back tonight. Let KP and JB kind of have a night where they get feeling good again. And now you got to find some motivation on Saturday.
You think they get to 60 wins? I'm not even obsessed with that idea. Like, it's fine if they don't. I feel really encouraged by this team.
I was laughing at was so they're 54-19 now, 30-7 away from home. Again, they're a chance here to potentially be the best road Celtics, the biggest road dogs in Celtics history if they can finish out at 34-7. But there was a point where, so the rule is always 40-20. Like, you have to get 40 wins before 20 losses to be considered a real championship caliber team.
Ooh.
And
they can't do one more.
So think about it. Like, they were at a point where we were worried that they might get their 20th loss. before they got 40 wins.
Yep.
They're now 54-19. They might get to 60 wins. Like
I know.
It just doesn't seem possible, but they are rolling, and they have been great. And you know what? I don't suspect we got to go jump on the post-game show. I don't think there's going to be a long post-game show. We're just going to do the same thing we did here. But here's Scal and everybody else raving about this team.
Are you ready to enter the realm of affordable luxury? Drew Carter here at 24 Infinity of Plymouth, your go-to destination for affordable luxury.
Right now, lease a new Infinity QX60 Luxe for just $569 a month. Or lease a new QX80 Sensory for $1099 a month.
Ready to trade and upgrade? You'll get top dollar for your trade. Visit 24 Infinity of Plymouth at 151 Samoset Street and online at 24infinityofplymouth.com.
Just a total dominant performance
no
here
doubt.
from the Celtics, and it started in the first quarter and rolled all the way through.
Yeah, you can go into what are the Celtics' identity defense, right? They were spot on today, communicating, giving up certain things, Kevin Durant in the mid-post, all the pull-ups. And then what are they on the offensive end? Space the floor, good cuts, pick on isolations, and knock down shots. And I thought the assists were high. The three-point shooting was high. They were just locked in start to finish. And you had all the excuses in the world. They're on this road trip, and they somehow figure it out. And one way or another, their chase for excellence in the month of March has continued on this road trip.
12-1 now in the month of March and 33 assists that you were referencing there. Let's talk about Jaylen Brown, though, in the 24 points, and he did that all in 3 quarters. Didn't play it, obviously, in the fourth quarter. Didn't need to. Celtics were in such control. But how did he look tonight compared to what we've seen last?
Great.
Yeah.
He looked very similar to the way he looked when we were playing the Lakers, and he was motivated to go against Luka Doncic. Tonight he was like, no, I'm going to be the best player on the floor. With KD out here, he's an all-time great player, but, Jaylen Brown was about that matchup, got to where he wanted to go, played off 2, let the game come to him, and had no problem moving that ball and shot it extremely well from the outside.
Yeah, he made 2 threes right out of the gate. Mm-hmm. Like the Celtics, 7 threes in the first 4+ minutes. All 5 starters had at least one. Jaylen Brown had 2 of those, but it was just an onslaught from the start, and Jaylen Brown had it going right from the jump.
Yeah, he controlled this game when he was out there. And you see the versatility of Jaylen Brown in this particular game. A lot of times we're not asking him to do that, even though I always like aggressive star players, but sometimes he's just chilling in the corner. It's another guy's night. But tonight you saw the threes to start. You saw him getting downhill, attacking the rim. You got him getting involved with other people, some pick and rolls. So, and then he guarded. So Jaylen Brown, after the knee or whatever, coming back, a little rusty, whatever it was, he came back to whatever it was tonight. Those things were a thing of the past.
All right, for the second time this season, meanwhile, he had Kristaps Porzingis with 30-plus points as he dropped 30 tonight. Did it so efficiently, too, Scal. He's 4 of 5 from 3, 10 of 15 from the field. Just total domination. This time we're talking Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, balance. Outside, inside, rolling to the basket. Had the mismatches in the post, but the ball's moving around and it's going to benefit Porzingis. You see these driving kicks. That's a wide open Porzingis. I don't think that the Phoenix Suns were prepared, even though the Boston Celtics. I've seen a lot of teams try some different things. They played standard NBA defense today, and it did not affect Porzingis at all. When they would switch, he would take him down low. When they wouldn't, he would be outside, and he got it going, and then he started kicking it from deep.
You also had Porzingis, even challenging Kevin Durant, the tallest guy on the floor at one point, in the post, drawing a foul against KD. But, again, 30 points from Porzingis to go with those 8 rebounds and 2 blocks as the Celtics win this one by 30 points. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we got Eddie House standing by with Kristaps Porzingis back at PHX Arena.
Here with KP, hell of a game tonight, right? You guys came out on fire, started off shooting the threes. You only missed one, had 30 points. How was you feeling tonight, and what started everything for you? Feeling good. I was feeling good. I think we got off to a good start offensively, but we know this kind of team, they have a lot of like firepower. So they made some runs, but at the end we were able to withstand those and just keep building our lead. And then in the third, we really build it up and finish out the game.
So the first quarter they had 38 points. Did you guys make a concerted effort to say, hey, because they only had 16 in that second quarter. Was that something that you guys came to in the huddle and said, we got to cut that down?
Yeah, we wanted to take away their threes. You know, they're a good shooting team, and those kind of teams are dangerous, you know. And obviously with Book and KD, especially KD, he was really hot today, so we wanted to make sure we run him off the line, make him drive, make him do something else. And it was a collective effort for that second quarter, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so that energy you guys have, after you guys got up big, you guys still were hustling, getting deflections and things like that. Talk about that, about your team, what you guys are focused on, and not just who you're playing, but setting your standard for yourself.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the culture that the coaching staff is instilling in us, you know, and that's credit to them. To get us to play this hard against all the competition at this time of the year, it's not the easiest thing, you know, but that's why I want to give credit to the coaching staff and Joe.
You said you wanted, what a great road trip is being undefeated, right? You guys are almost there. You still feeling like you guys are going to get it?
I believe so. We have to go for it. We're 4-0 now, right? Yep. San Antonio, Memphis. Both doable games, winnable games, and we're going for it.
Enjoy Phoenix, man.
Man, thank you.
All right, so Kristaps Porzingis again leading the way with 30 points in this one. Celtics winning their 7th in a row, now 30-7 on the road.
Ago that you don't like missing games this stretch, you want to be kind of gearing up for the playoffs. What has this experience been like for you, just mentally having to sit out a little bit, and is there anything you gain from being away from actually playing every day?
You could say that, just rhythm, I say, but just battling injury, just mentally, just making sure like your confidence and your body is still in line with the game and stuff like that. So no, that's pretty much it. I'm still working my way back. Just building up, been on minute restriction, but still just making the right steps. My body still doesn't feel 100%, but today was a good step in the right direction.
You said the other day you think it's something you're going to have to manage kind of the rest of the way. What does that kind of look like for you down the stretch?
We'll see. It's new for me. I haven't really had issues with my knees, ever in my career. So just trying to, find a good, a good routine to make sure I'm prepared and ready to go every night, but it's definitely been a challenge, mentally and stuff like that.
What did you see from Kristaps tonight and just in general this season, how efficient he's been?
KP's been great. KP's been balling. He's been playing well, shooting the ball well, making the right plays. Been big time. We're gonna need him this year in the playoffs. Keep him healthy is the key. But KP's been balling all season.
You guys won 12 13 now. Obviously, playoffs are inching pretty close. How do you feel just in general about the form you guys are showing and kind of getting it at the right time?
Yeah, the strength of our group is the team. No one person, no two people or three make our team. We got a great unit, and I think that's what's made us so good over the years, and especially last year, is that any given night, any one of our guys can take over a game and add to winning. So we just need to keep emphasizing that, especially in the playoffs when the games get tougher. So to have our guys ready to go, feeling good, confident, shooting the ball well is a great sign for us. We just got to keep building on it.
You guys have been an historic road team this year. I think 6 wins, about 25 or more on the road. Just what do you think kind of goes into that? The Celtics fans that travel.
Shout out to all the Celtics fans that travel. Experience as well. We have a very experienced teams. We got guys have won championships, gold medals, deep playoff runs, all of the above. So knowing how to win on the road is like an experience thing that we've been able to be really good at this year. Last year I feel like we were really good at home, and then just year to year everything's different. So going into the playoffs, we're gonna need to win some road games. So it's great that we've been able to find some rhythm in the regular season.
A little bit of a different note, but J.D. Davis, I know somebody that you mentored a little bit over the years. He was with you guys for the first half of the road trip. What are you seeing out of him in year 3 with the Celtics?
Yeah, JD, he's improved his game a lot. He's gotten so much better, and that's credit to him. But he's developed at a high rate. He's been balling. He's been playing well in the G League, leading and scoring, assists, rebounds, whatever. He's athletic. He's seeing the game. He's shooting the ball better. And I saw it in training camp. Like JD, you could tell he took it to another level in training camp earlier on this year. And I think he's been able to learn from our guys, going against Peyton, going against Drew and Derek. And, he's picked up some stuff, and now he's looking good out there.
All right, up next.
Oh.
San Antonio.
The Spurs.
No Victor
no
Wembanyama. Can you help me give me some motivation?
Let me run this down right now, okay? This is what we're going to do. We're going to see the Spurs. For all y'all who don't, are like, let's just skip this game and get right to business. I'm looking at the roster right now. You're going to see some Baylor Shireman, not only minutes. He's going to go, I think, for, I would say, 28 to 30-plus minutes.
Okay.
I see this man having, let's go 15 points. Let's go 6 boards.
Wow,
and maybe 4 assists.
But and they might not be a lot of assists, but they'll be fancy.
I'm going behind the back pass like
Okay.
he normally does. That little sneaky somehow no look pass. Maybe even a dunk. Can we get a Baylor dunk?
The only other person I would throw in there is my eyes are on Peyton Pritchard. Quiet game tonight.
Yes.
Just for whatever reason seemed off. Couldn't get anything to fall.
Yeah, he was 25 minutes.
I don't suspect it'll persist. Peyton usually moves on pretty quickly from these games. 2 days off, the team will either spend it in Arizona or Texas, and probably warm weather. It's probably good for them to get a couple days here and let those some of those bumps and bruises heal up, especially with Jayson Tatum. But yeah, I don't want to dismiss the San Antonio game outright. They still have De'Aaron Fox and some young players, but it's just the challenge is going to be how do you find motivation. And I was looking the Celtics. I think I told you like Joe Mazzulla picks something to call every segment of the season. This little chunk right here, which might even just take us all the way to the finish line, is called "Figure It Out."
Figure it out.
And it's more like, okay, Saturday.
So true.
What's your motivation? You're
Figure it
rolling
out.
on this road trip. You're locked into the 2 seed. Yeah. What's your motivation? Figure it out. Just
I like
figure it
that.
out. Nobody cares. Figure it out.
And it's also, I mean, for me, if I'm not a player, but, if I'm tapping into their shoes or jumping into their shoes a little bit, it's like, hey, we've been so successful on the road. Let's keep this streak going. Why give up on it? Let's push to 60 wins. Let's get there.
Yep.
And let's go into the playoffs knowing that, hey, this is how we finish the regular season. So that's going to only encourage them to be like, we can handle any challenge, any team that comes our way.
It's truly remarkable. I do think you got to do game within the game, and not the ultimate motivation is being healthy, playing well, and repeating as champions. But there is something to, and maybe I'll just be the only one who fixates on it, but again, being the best road team in Celtics history.
You know what I noticed too about this guy, about these guys, and let me ask you, because since you've covered this team, these guys are having a freaking heck of a time. They are having so much fun right now.
Maybe that's where we should have started the podcast. It's the joy that permeates this team. They're some of the nicest human beings this team has ever had.
Yes, can back that.
And I joke all the time when I was talking to someone with the Celtics, and they said probably the best team group of players we've had in a while. And I said, well, it certainly wasn't the 2019 Celtics and Kyrie and the miserable year where they just were all like, for various reasons were not great. That next year was a little bit of a palate cleanser with Kemba, but there were still frustrations. They, based on how the season ended, and this group just, not only are they champions, not only are they really good at their jobs, not only are they smashing teams like the Phoenix Suns on a random Wednesday night, but they're like finding ways to just thoroughly enjoy themselves at every turn.
You're seeing it on the sideline. And they embrace each other's personalities. They embrace the Luke Cornett. They embrace the Baylor kiss to the stands. They embrace Jayson Tatum going off on the bench. Like Jaylen Brown cracking up with these guys. Drew Holiday having a good night. Like they understand each other and they're embracing each other. And I really do think that can separate a team from, getting somewhat midway through the playoffs and then becoming repeat NBA champs.
I'm going to agree with you. I think there's something to just enjoying going to work and enjoying going to battle with it. And now look, won't be as many laughs when the playoffs get here, and they got to dig in a little bit against some good teams. But I was worried about the end of the year and finding motivation and doing all that, and here we are, 12-1 in March. All right, everybody go like, go subscribe, go check us out on the YouTube page. Enjoy your 2 days off, everybody. There might be another off-day Celtics
Chris,
talk.
you enjoy your 2 days
I'm
off.
gonna try.
You've been going all season long.
Well, but I think there's another off-day pod coming. It depends on whether we get enough of our interviews.
This
out.
dude's like Tatum. He takes no break. I may have to get in your shooting zone and you step on my ankle.
I want to go ice. I've got a little bit of energy now because I know we just got to get through this post game, and maybe we can actually down you for a couple days. Go check us out on the YouTube page. Go watch hooping. Go watch everything else that's up there. We'll catch you next time on the Celtics Talk Podcast.